First of all, it's not a surprise because we were expecting something like that since months. It's clear that after we have destroyed, the networks, the terrorist network between Belgium and France, it was obvious that there was still a big risk with lone terrorists attacking or fighting with a rifle or with a car against population, against the crowd, and that, we were really focused on it for the football, for the Euro football competition. We were thinking about it for the Tour de France, but it's true that yesterday, for the 14th of July, it seems that we have not been enough careful about this possibility.
Indeed, from the pictures for the moment, what we can see, it doesn't appear as if there was as big of a perimeter set up as we have seen this past month here in the French capital and elsewhere for these fan zones for the football tournament. I would like to ask you what we heard in terms of the French president just following the attack. He said, of course, right away that this was a terrorist attack. We are waiting to fully understand the exact nature, once again, whether or not it's a lone attack or whether or not this driver acted with other accomplices. However, the president said that the state of emergency, which just hours before he said would be repealed, he said, indeed, we are going to stick with it and continue it. Do you think that it's making a difference?
Well, the reality is that we know very well that terrorists, to fight against terrorism require, on a long time. It's not something you can stop in one day or in 1 week. That needs a long time, in which everybody has to be very careful, in which it is necessary to maintain a kind of state of urgency in order to push everybody first to protect themselves and to use the police and the army to protect everybody. We are in a situation in which the president and the prime minister now have said and explained that it's a long fight in which we have to use all the means, but all the tools, but staying into the French democracy, that is to say, respecting the laws of our republic. And that the difference with others, we are not in the United States, in France, Guantanamo, it's impossible by chance. And therefore, we have to find the right way to fight against terrorism with our system, with our laws, with our possibilities. And I think that we are at the top of what it is possible to do, because it's very difficult to block, a lone fighter, a lone terrorist attacking, the crowd and ready to be killed in the operation. And it's a more difficult act, you can block. Yeah?
Indeed, that's what's so disturbing about what we saw take place in Nice. Is it was just a very large truck. It was a very simple attack in one way, if we can say it like that. And how, though, can we help security now? One problem is that security is always prepared for the last attack. And as you just mentioned, just this week, we had essentially the new Parliament committee report saying that indeed it looks like these attacks will change in nature.
Well, no, it's not a change of nature, that's an evolution. We have destroyed the network, the terrorist network who was working in France and Belgium. And therefore, now we know that the main possibility for the terrorists are to attack alone, because it's more and more, it is very difficult to block them. When you are alone and you make an attack, it's very difficult. But we don't have to forget that all these operations are not the fact of a mad guy, They are the fact of an organization. And I'm sure that in the next hours, we will hear something from Daesh, from Syria, saying, well, our brother have destroyed a lot of crusaders, in France, and we are happy about it. Sure, it's the terrorist organization is in France, is fighting against us for a lot of reasons, as you know, and therefore, the problem is for us to reduce the possibilities, knowing that it's impossible to stop everything, and that's the point. That's the key point, the key issue. It's impossible to block everything, but up to now, we have succeeded. Because if you look at, as you say, the European tournament, football tournament, if you look at the Tour de France, if you look at all the big events in France in the past 4, 6, 5 months, we have blocked the possibility to do something. So the pity is that yesterday, in Nice, they have succeeded.
Indeed. All right. Well, Alain Juillet, thank you very much for joining us here on the program.